know what some of y'all thinking. Jason, I bet you wish you left that windshield on. Raining today? Answer is no. I'm glad the windshield's off. Holly is too. It's so much cooler. Way cooler. We don't have many days we ride this thing in the rain, do we? Way more in the heat. Good morning, Sheriff. What is going on, Cog Squad? Jason over here at Cog Hill Farm. Rainy day on the farm. Sure is. And you know, generally we watch the weather and we will video accordingly, because a lot of times when it's raining, there's really not much we can do. But I also thought to myself, we have not shown a rainy day on the farm in a while. And I was like, you know what? Let's give everybody what it's like here on the farm when it is nasty outside. Because it's not always butterflies and rainbows. I hope we have a rainbow today, though. I do. I hope we get one today. But first, Brooke and myself have a little something we need to do in the barn with the new little chicks, the salmon favorals. So let's go in there, get this fixed up. I gotta move these guys and get that taken care of on this nasty rainy day here in Alabama. Snap left hinge on left end cap and right hinge on right end cap. What that was. Shows it like that and that, just like that.
I think that's what she was talking about. Be
That?
careful. Yeah, because the little tabs could break easily. Wouldn't you think?
Probably.
Or it may be this too.
Okay. Now it says snap clear trough cover, left and right cap. So it goes like
Well, because this hangs
this,
on the front.
like this. All right, hang on.
Let me get mine outside.
I got it. Get
I'm
this
going to let
one.
you do it because I don't want to break it.
Now, there you
Thank
go.
you. Oh,
Oh, that's gonna save a lot of feed.
It sure is.
Okay.
Yes, look at there.
Now, that's way better.
So if you have the GQF brooder and you did not know that there was a cover made, which I did not until Tracy reached out to me and told me, that will save feed from getting all over the floor.
Big time.
Big time. I wish I had known a long time ago.
And will help, you know, if one was to get out.
Yeah, they can't go too far.
They can't get all the way out.
That's right.
But you can adjust this, you know, lower too.
Yes, that is brilliant. All right, you want to help me move my chicks?
Oh my gosh. I'm still shocked at this, Brooke.
That's amazing.
Well, let me
isn't it?
tell you what I thought. So when we went to the website and looked, I couldn't tell in the picture how this thing worked because it's clear. If I took a picture of this, you'd have no idea
how that was
what
going
this
to keep
cover
feed
is.
from.
But now when you see it, see how it opens and shuts?
Well, what was happening without the cover is they're eating from this side,
And it falls
and
out.
all the
Yeah.
feed sloshes over
It
onto
makes a
the
little
floor.
mess.
It makes a big mess. Not a little mess, a big mess.
That's awesome.
So these chicks down here have not used that trough because we were wasting so much feed
Yeah.
that I was just using a feeder like this,
Right.
which they scratch it
And
out.
you have to open it up, pull it out,
It's,
and all that. And it
this-
hits the top, and you have to turn it sideways, and yeah.
This is much better.
The way the brooder's meant to be used is way better.
And it may be that a new brooder comes with that cover. I don't know. We've had
No
ours
idea.
for a long, long time.
Yeah. All right, let's move them.
Let's move them. They're big, girls.
Crazy how fast they grow, y'all. It is crazy. We're gonna put them in this way.
Yes. And I'm gonna move.
Now these have been fairly tame, or they getting a little crazy?
They're pretty Every time, as soon as I open up the,
They
of
come
course,
to you?
there's feed all on the bottom because that's what happens when you use a feeder. They want to come up here and watch me turn into a storyteller. Come here, babies. Come on. Now, once they figure out we're trying to get them, here they come.
You don't need to get in there.
Come here, babies. I might have to get in there. You might have to move that thing back and.
Let me get on the backside.
No, because we don't want to. All right, now pull it on open. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going in.
Okay.
Just beware of the ones that might come out.
I'll catch them. I think.
Here it comes. You get one? All right, baby, let's see. Look at there. Look at these little frizzles.
Y'all look at them right here. Aren't they cute? Now this is the salmon favorall. Guess that's how you say it. He's one of our favorite breeds. We hadn't had one in a long time. I hadn't seen them in a long time.
Hadn't seen them. And when we saw them, we knew that that was something we liked.
Go,
All right,
Holly. We don't
get
need
that,
your help.
baby.
Baby.
Let's shut this back.
Yeah.
And we don't have but 5 of them. Oh, you do much better than I do.
I'm longer than you are.
You're much longer.
Got him?
That's a her. Don't say him.
Oh, got her? We don't need any more hymns, do
We
we?
don't need any
Whoa.
more, baby. I got it.
God, that was quick, bro.
Yeah. Don't give up on me too quick. Yeah, y'all going to a new home. Look how cute. There you go, baby. There you go. Number 5. Look how pretty. Their coloration's so pretty.
They are pretty.
But
Very docile.
that's what I was
too.
fixing to say. That's the reason we bought them, is because they're one of the calmest breeds of chicken we've ever had. And we had a rooster also.
Same way.
He was very, very calm. Now, not saying if you get one,
Right.
it's going to be calm. We can't guarantee that. But
And these are usually, well, they are an older heritage breed chicken. And we're known for their great egg laying abilities. Now, I will tell you this. When you get one of these older breeds, like the Favoralls or the Anconas, at one time they were great egg layers. But since they got these hybrids where they're crossbreeding 2 different breeds, those hybrids typically lay more eggs than these guys. So back in the day, this was a great egg layer.
But times have changed because of improvements in genetics.
Well, they just realized they could crossbreed a Rhode Island Red with a Leghorn, and that chicken lays 100 more eggs a year versus, you know, the original breed. So, oh, they go. I think they're.
Are they already?
Yeah, they're checking it out.
I'll tell you what we can do. We can put some mealworms in there.
The mealworms would definitely entice them.
We'll put some feed in there.
They are checking it out though. They're like, what in the world?
We didn't
did we
have
get
this
this
down
feed?
there.
How we get this feed right here?
This is pretty cool.
How we get this feed?
This is pretty cool. All right, now I'm gonna put them some mealworms on top. Now let's see what happens. Are they just exploring?
Yeah, they're just kind of looking around right now.
We did buy one of those covers for each level.
Yeah, you got 3
So
covers.
that way, you know, future chicks will have a cover for all 3 of them. I think we're done for this year with chicks.
I think so too. Never say never though, right?
I was fixing to say, since you agree, that means I'm done. Comes the rain.
Let me show you. I was gonna show you the little runners. They were out in the rain, but they saw me and went inside their little hut there. So they are getting so big as well. Let me show you the rest of the crew though. Let me show you this. Cause the horses, as you can see Pocket over there. The light rain does not bother her. You see Maggie's over here. The light rain does not bother her. You see Willie has been in it. He decided to come on in here and get under the stall. Reska's 50-50 over there. I don't know what she's got going on. There's plenty of room for you here. But y'all look at this. The emus are undercover. Of course, y'all know the goats are going to be undercover. I mean, some even must have got caught out in it while they was grazing. They're all undercover. Goats do not like water at all. But Honey and Jessie, they're kind of like the goats, and I figured donkeys would be like the horses. And now Willie and Reska's making me look silly because they're under the cover, but 90% of the time, if it's a light rain, it's really not raining that hard at all. They're like Maggie over here or Pocket. They do not mind the rain, as you can see. Willie's been out in it right here, but they can get under cover if they want to. We've seen all three of them under here easily, especially when we got the misted system going, which we don't have that on today, do we, brother? No sense, is it? No. No sense in it at all. I am a little shocked about the emus, though. Right there. Loretta, you can see she's wet. It doesn't bother her. She's just looking for any morsel that somebody may have dropped overnight. Just in case. She is the official cleanup crew of Cog Hill Farm. Right, partner? She is. She really does a great job of keeping the pastures clean and everything. Yep. We'll be moving you guys back over to your home spot over there and letting the goats and everybody have this, and let Loretta clean this pasture up for us. She's good at it now. Guess that's why she's moved up and is the assistant manager around here. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy your day. It is, with the rain, it's cool. There's Nuggy. Nug does not mind the rain at all either. Really does not. But he has some porta huts to get in if he wants to. All right, let's go see what else we can get into, right? Right, buddy? And look, y'all, they found it. See them? Man, that cover is the ticket. Somebody was thinking when they made that cover. There they are, y'all. Look at them. Of course, they don't mind. Sorry, Sylvester. They don't mind the rain at all. Look at them. Look how they stand up. That is, they got to be in that little march. It's so crazy looking. Oh my goodness. Oh me. And those are Indian runners. That is the breed of duck. And they all stand straight up like that, like a little penguin or a bowling pin. That's what I always think of when I see them. And these are chocolates. That's their color. And in we go. You know, we get asked sometimes about the Moo Mansion and this shelter over here. One, a lot of people don't think it's big enough for all of our cows, and you can see it's absolutely clearly big enough for all of our cows. Room to spare. There's probably at least spots for 2 more cows, but y'all don't tell Brooke that. But yeah, plenty of room for the cows over there. But you can see they are all under there. There's Little Man, Moo Man, Taterbug, Mildred, and Matilda. Yeah, I was just talking about you two. How y'all do not like the rain as much as the goats. Y'all are just, I don't know. I figured y'all would be more like the horses, is just all I'm saying. Y'all look at here. Shake and Bake decided to come on out. They definitely do not mind the rain at all. But you can see right there, goats are not going to have any part of it. I'm still shocked about the donkeys, though. I figured it wouldn't bother them. I figured you'd be asleep after breakfast. That rain on that tin roof will get you every time, won't it, girl? Yeah. Tell everybody you're not mad at me no more. He's not. We buddies again. Enjoy your morning nap. Yeah, I can lay down there with you with this sound hitting that roof. I could tell you. Nothing like it. All right, Holly. Let's go take the Cog squad over to the garden area. Check things out over there. I actually did something yesterday. Just gonna show you guys that. And we gotta do something else today too. Yeah, we got something else important that we're gonna do today. We're not gonna put the windshield on though. Not gonna put the windshield on. Just hope we don't start storming, you know? Then we may be second guessing our windshield, you reckon? I don't think so either. All right, girl. So the weather people called for an 85% chance of rain today, and they were spot on today. And what I did was I came out to the garden and I put out some fertilizer. I put out that Halls organic fertilizer that I use. It's a 543. You can see how great our bush beans are looking. I mean, they look fabulous. Of course, zinnias are gonna do what zinnias are gonna do. They look great as well. Look at there. This is a row of cosmos, and I think sunflowers. But look at the sweet potatoes. Yeah, look at here. Look at there. They're looking pretty good, to be honest with you. They sure are. So we got some sunnies coming up, cosmos over here. Everything got a good fertilizing yesterday. And I like to time fertilizing when I'm using granular fertilizer of any kind, pretty much, when it's raining. Especially if you're using something that has some higher nitrogen than, say, 8. But this is all I got fertilized out here yesterday because I knew the rain was coming. Now, I did not fertilize the sun hemp. And y'all look at this. It is 2 foot tall or better. And, oh my goodness. This is doing awesome. And that's why it's such an amazing cover crop. And of course, this bed right here, the black old sunflower seeds and the zinnias, it's doing awesome too. I was about to have to put the water hose on this one or the sprinkler on this one, but this rain, it was timed perfectly. This is gonna be a beautiful bed right here. I can't wait. I really can't wait. There's gonna be a lot of color, a lot of flowers, a lot of pollinators. Y'all just remember what this bed looks like now versus what it's gonna look like in about a month.
I don't know if y'all are lined up waiting to go in or if you've already been in to lay your eggs, but if you saw my video, then you know that the juvenile chickens' door has been opened. The opening to their little room is, well, some of them have started kind of mingling outside the door, but some of them are choosing to stay in. And you can see Tina Turner has made her way in to be a member of their family. She's on the back side of the feeder. It won't be long. They'll all be making their way out. I just don't want to rush it. When they feel comfortable coming out, they can do so. All right, girls, what we got today? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Got a dozen on this side. That's pretty good, girls. And number 13 is still sticky because it just rolled out. Kind of shabby on this side. 14, 15, 16. Got a girl in there. Got 3 girls in this side. Y'all remember this girl, this little girl here clucking? She's a frizzle. And she's not so frizzly today because it's raining and her hair's laid flat. Girl, mine does just the opposite. When mine gets wet, it frizzles. So you might do better in the rain. Y'all hop down so we can see what's in this box. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21.
One other thing is that the shade cloth. A lot of y'all been asking about my shade cloth, where we're going to put a shade on the chicken coop, and yeah, we did. I think we talked about it, but I did order one, and it got lost in the mail, and then I had to reorder it, and I'm still waiting for it to come in. So as soon as it gets here and the weather's nice, we'll definitely get that put on for the crew over there. One tip that I like to give you guys, and some of y'all probably already do this, but after a rain is, to me, the best time to weed the garden. Now, I just ran Big Joe through here the other day, so my weed pressure is really minimum. But in the past, this is when I love to weed for several reasons. One, the soil is real loose. The weeds are going to come up very easy, and it's just the perfect time to weed. Plus, it's way cooler. The sun's not out. If you can catch it like right now where we're getting just a little bit of rain, winds are blowing, sun's not out, it's way cooler. Way cooler than it would be in the middle of the sun, 112 degrees, and the humidity around 2020. That's just one little tip I want to give you out there for those that may not know or have never tried that. Weed right after it rains. It is way easier, I can promise you. Y'all see what I mean? I hear you, Willie. Yeah, the horses do not mind the rain at all. They really don't. Unless it's storming. Now, there's a difference between storming rain and just regular old rain. Does not bother these guys. I think they actually quite enjoy it, I'm sure, in this Alabama heat. Right, Willie? Yep, that's right. But if we look over here, still no goats. There goes a cow, though. There goes Mildred. Cows might be venturing out. The goats are not, though. Now I'm over here in the side garden where a lot of my ornamentals and my roses are, and it is the perfect time to fertilize my roses. Now I fertilize at least every 4 to 6 weeks through the growing season, and that's generally through March all the way through September, October. That's when I'll stop. And if y'all remember the first of the year, I put this on here, which is a 3-in-1 rose fertilizer, which is insect control, disease control. It's a fertilizer. Now this one is systemic, and I like to use this one first in case I do have any pests, and it does help with diseases. Now it cannot handle my over-the-top powdery mildew on the American pillars. It's just way too much for it to handle, and that's why we have to spray those with that Gravix 20. But I like to use this the first season, and then I like to come back with this the middle of the season. I have seen Japanese beetles on my muscadines and my grapes in the fruit orchard. Japanese beetles love roses. So I think I'm going to put some of these out on my American pillar roses and the roses around front, my roadside roses that I planted on the fence over there near Brooke's mom's house. I think I'm going to put this on there to protect them from the Japanese beetles. Now, my drift roses back there, I've been using this rose food from Nelson's, which I like this as well. Now, this is just your typical rose fertilizer. And I kind of swap and just, I like to use the organic fertilizer because it will build up my soil. So I may go back and forth. One month I use the organic fertilizer. Next month I may use this Nelson's fertilizer. Or like I'm going to do with American Pillars, I'm going to use this 3-in-1 fertilizer just to help protect them against that Japanese beetle, which can destroy a rose bush overnight. They will eat every leaf on it. On my drift roses, y'all, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a handful and throw it as close as I can to the root system, because they're just so thick now and it's just impossible for me to get in there and fertilize them individually. Again, and I'm just gonna do my best. Now I know some of y'all may be wanting to know why I'm not using the 3-in-1 fertilizer on my drift roses. And y'all, that's because I've never, ever had a Japanese beetle issue with these drift roses. I don't know if there's something about it, how they're bred, I don't know. But no issues. And you can see, it looks like they're bloomed out. They're not near as pretty as they were a week or so ago. But don't let that fool you, because they're going to put on another flush, and then another flush, and another flush. And I will say this, if I came in here and deadheaded it all, each flush would be just as beautiful as the first one. But there's no way I can get in here because it's such one just giant, huge mass of roses. So that's why I don't do that. But at the same time, that second flush, that third flush, that fourth flush is still going to be gorgeous. Before I go fertilize the other roses on the other side, I'm going to grab me a few blackberries here. And also, man, they're so good. Answer a question that I saw a lot pop up. And that is this right here. Of course, these are our Kiowa blackberries right here. This is the blackberry that I've been growing on the trellis. Has the thorns. Flavor wise, my favorite blackberry. But I'm starting to realize they're a lot of work. They really are. To keep them trellised, they are a lot of work. You can see about a week and a half ago, I had these cleaned up, and look how much growth there is right here, all the way down through here. So every week, at least one time a week, you have to come and trim these guys out. Now, I've been growing blackberries this way for 10 plus years, but y'all, I'm starting to wonder, because I'm not no U-pick place, I'm not a blackberry farm, I'm not selling blackberries for profit. So I'm starting to wonder if this blackberry is worth the trouble, even though it is the better tasting of the two I grow. I'm starting to wonder if it's worth the trouble, because this is the thornless variety that I'm growing. It's called Natchez. And that's the question a lot of people ask. What kind of blackberry is this? And I've discussed blackberries many times before in the past. And I know we get a bunch of new viewers. So this thornless variety is called Natchez. And it grows differently than the Kiowa. The Kiowa kind of gives me hundreds of canes that come out of one spot. This one kind of gives me just like one or two large canes, and it just folds over and creates this, what you see here. No thorns. The Kiowa has some big thorns. Y'all, I don't do anything to this blackberry. I don't cut it unless it gets out too far in the path. I don't do anything. Absolutely nothing. It is pretty much maintenance free, and it tastes delicious. Is it as good as the Kiowa? It's not, okay? The flavor, the Kiowa is better. But I don't think, in my opinion, for me as a home gardener, not a farm or a U-pick place, but as a home gardener, I feel like that this Natchez thornless variety, which is almost maintenance free for the most part, it's worth growing it versus the Kiowa now. This stage in my life, that's what I feel like. And the payoff is that it's maintenance free. I don't have to worry about trellising it. I don't have to worry about cutting it every week. I don't have to worry about, you know, the Kiowa got bit really, really hard by that crazy frost we had. And so my production is way off on that. It's not on these guys at all. So that little bit of flavor difference, or that little bit of better flavor, for me is not worth the work when I can grow this one. It's still a delicious blackberry and it's maintenance free. And it produces more blackberries than you can shake a stick at. Now I know some are gonna ask, Jason, where did you get those Natchez blackberries from? And those came from Petals from the Past, a local nursery here in Jemison, Alabama. And you guys know how much we love them. That's where they came from. Now, if you're interested in those guys, don't go by their website, call them. That's the best way to know. You'll talk to somebody and they can put their hands on it for you. But tell them Cog Hill Farm talked about these Natchez blackberries and I am interested in them. Do you have any? And if so, can you ship me some? One more thing before we go finish the roses. Our blueberries were not a total loss at all. Y'all, we got lots of blueberries. Lots and lots of blueberries. I thought we weren't gonna have any, but goodness gracious, I was wrong. They are still producing and some of them are just massive. I mean, look at them big ones right there. What variety of blueberries did we plant? We planted several different varieties. Tifted blue, but my favorite one, I believe, is Climax. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the ones that are doing very well here are called. And they are delicious. The reason why we planted different varieties because they produce berries at different times. But my favorite so far, and has done very well, is, I thought I may have a sticker on one of them, but I'm pretty sure it's called Climax. And this is one of the roadside roses we got right here. And you can see us taking this fence completely over, which is awesome. This is Alberic Barbier. Old rose that will, or is one of the few roses that can tolerate shade. A lot ask about our roadside roses, and there's one we planted right there. Beautiful rose. I showed it earlier when it was blooming. It is a springtime bloomer. I always love to check especially tomatoes after we've had a rain, in case I see anything that I need to take care of. Bugs, splitting, blossom end rot, whatever it may be. I always like to check and see if I need to do anything. So far they look great. This is that Dark Angel that I got from Hoss Tools as an experiment. This is one that they're trying out, and y'all, so far it has not disappointed. I've probably gotten 3 or 4 tomatoes off of it. Very delicious. And just look at it. I mean, this thing is putting on some tomatoes now. I don't know if they got this up on their website yet. It may be next year. If it is, I would definitely give it a thumbs up. It is so far it's handling the heat. It's handling the humidity. It's handling our rainy season. Look at this. Dark Angel is what it was called. That one's about to turn right there. And it is a darker, it's not a red tomato, I should say. That's kind of its color right there. See that green red? Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna harvest that one. Better Boys are doing good. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with a Better Boy tomato. Squash is still doing good. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to harvest these right here. This is the size I like. Go ahead and take care of that. Right there. May leave that one on a few more days. Brooke's gonna cook squash here directly, but that's the size I like right there. You can see our sunflowers are doing well right here on the back side of the cucumbers. And the cucumber trellis is loaded with bees and cucumbers. There are cucumbers everywhere. And bees. I don't know if y'all can hear them or not, but there's bees everywhere too. Look at that. That's about the size they get. These are those little cucumbers. I'm gonna get that one right there. Maybe save that one. Y'all know I gotta get my strawberries now. I will say this about the strawberries. They are still producing pretty good. But I have noticed one thing. The berries are getting smaller and smaller. Oh, I don't know if it's out of energy. I've been trying to keep it fertilized, so I may put a little fertilizer on it. See if that may increase the size of them. But at first we were getting some big ones, but they're definitely getting a little bit smaller on me now. They still eat good, I can tell you that. I'm definitely going to miss that when it's gone, because I eat strawberries every day. Well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today's rainy episode and listening to the rain and the rain on the tin roof and seeing the animals and how they react to the different types of weather here on the farm. Hope you have the best day ever today. And if it's raining in the area, stay dry, stay safe. If it's not raining in the area, stay cool. Don't get too hot. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be good.